You guys need anything else? You guys need oxy, med kits? Anybody need that?
I could do some oxy and some med.
I feel like while we're distributing these equipment for you guys to use, please, Miguel brought up a good point that this is going to be last resort. Okay, we're not going to be shooting motherfuckers.
Right.
Okay, it's going to be last resort. Y'all need to learn how, I understand in this business we're not exactly on the right side of the law, but at the end of the day, it's like customer service, right? You got to talk it through with them. Okay, and if they don't pay the tax, right, our first step would be to escort them off the premises. Now, if they start threatening you and shit, push comes to shove, then obviously that's why you guys have what we're giving you, right? But let this be known that this should be a last resort, okay? Escort them off the premises. Tell them if they don't want to pay the taxes, they got to leave and they could run their money somewhere else, aka Yellow Jack, because that's the only place we're not going tax, right? But if they, like I said, if push comes to shove and they really push you to that point, then by all means defend yourself at any point. But remember, the people in this room, all right, we all got each other's back, right? Make sure before, use your brain. If you see 3 people coming in, they happen to be Manor, Hydra, or any type of gang, use your brain. Radio it in. Radio it in before this happens. Last thing we want is to have to clean up after your mess. You guys get robbed, shot down, and we have no clue who did it, right? We're not here to play detective. You're going to do something, radio it in beforehand, all right? And remember, be nice, right? Just because we're, over here tacking doesn't mean you got to come about it mean, right? Just use your words, communicate with them. If they don't want to listen, tell them to leave, all right? Now, if shit starts to happen, radio it in and then deal with it the way you need to.
Appreciate it.
Everybody understand?
Yeah, pull up. A little bit late, but pull up.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Like my dog was
how many
saying,
mags
though,
you got?
like J-Hobbs was saying,
0.
using these
Give him
guns,
one, future, give him one.
you guys are going to make sure using these guns is last resort, okay? Make sure it's last resort. If somebody comes in here and they're being stubborn and they don't want to pay the tax and they still want to use the place, you know what I'm saying? Inform them that they can go to the Yellow Jack and not get taxed. Now, if they don't want to do that and they still want to use the place and they don't want to do anything, they don't want to leave, then try and escort them off the premises. And if that doesn't work, then it is what it is, right? What can you do? You got to pull out your gun and make them leave. But that's last resort, okay? Make sure that's last resort. You guys will be paid. Here's how the payments are going to work. Yeah, listen, you guys are going to be taken care of, okay? You guys are going to get paid for every person you tax. And then you're going to get paid for being here. Well, you might be down at the VU, you might be at Bahama Mamas, or you might be up here, it depends. There's 6 employees, there's going to be 2 of you guys at each place. We're all going to get on the radio. If something does go wrong, you guys got to make sure that, there's not too many people going to help. Let's say there's something happens at Bahama Mamas, right? Make sure there's not too many of you guys going to help Bahama Mamas. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Got any questions?
What percentage are we taxing?
5% for now. If there's any changes, I'll let you guys know, okay? There will be changes, though. Each and every gang might have a different percentage. We'll keep a list. But today's the first day, opening day. Everyone's going to be getting taxed 5%.
Remember, boys, have each other's backs out there. I know some of y'all, this is your first time meeting, right? Look across the table from you. These are your, these guys are the people that's going to have your back out there, right? This ain't exactly the safest line of work. Get familiar with each other, know each other's names at the very least, and, protect each other out there. Shit might get real wicked.